What the heck is this? It's kind of a sad story, honestly. It's terrifying. Every time I used it, it was trash. My fine hair girlies, this one is for you. It is time for you to shine. More like it's time for your hair to shine. Please excuse my setup. This is not a makeup tutorial, but I'm going to be doing my makeup while I'm talking to you about fine hair and what products you should be using and how to take care of your fine hair. There are so many hair care products out there and even product methods, product systems that are floating around, but it's not a one size fits all situation, okay? What might work for you will not work for me. What might work for me might not work for you. And that's okay because we don't all have the same head of hair. Not all products were created for fine hair, and more importantly, just because one has had great success with a viral hair care method does not mean it's for you. That is okay. Please do not get caught up in the anecdotal stories of how using, let's say, 15 different steps or 15 different products works for one person. I know I don't have time for that, and I know a lot of other people sure don't have time for putting, 15 different products in their hair, and honestly, it can get really costly. It can get, really expensive. I think I can speak on behalf of a lot of us here saying that we are looking for ways to get more budget-friendly items that still give us the benefit of what we're looking to get from that product, if that makes sense. I'm going to be sharing with you what products you should be using at a fraction of the cost and keeping the product to a minimum, really, because you really and truly don't need 15 different products. You just don't. And for fine hair girls, 15 different products in the hair is way too much anyway. It's going to be weighing your hair down. So let's move right on. I will still post the luxury high-end brands just simply for my girls that still want to know what products to use that are higher end, but I will most certainly be sharing with you the dupes to those high-end products. Too many products can weigh it down and cause complications like clogged follicles, which is not what we need, especially when we have fine hair. I mean, nobody in general would want clogged follicles and not allow that new hair to come through, because that's what it does. If you have a clogged hair follicle, it's not going to allow the new hair to come through. So you have to be careful with how much product you're putting on your hair. Now, with the styling products, they themselves do not directly cause hair loss. However, overuse of them can make your hair look thinner by clumping the strands together, increasing the scalp visibility. And fine hair requires significantly less amount of product than someone with thicker, coarser hair. Now, products like leave-in conditioners, oils, and styling creams can be used, but sparingly. So for instance, if you are doing a leave-in conditioner, which I do highly recommend even if you do have fine hair, when you're doing a leave-in conditioner, you're going to want to focus on doing the application from your mids to ends. Now, what is mids to ends? Mids to ends are the mids is short for middle of the hair. So you have your roots, then you have the mids, and then you have the ends. So you're going to focus on taking your product. You're going to hold it about 6 inches from your hair. You're going to apply it damp. You're going to 1, 2, maybe 1, 2, 3. That's it. You're not going to apply more than 2 to 3 spritz of that leave-in conditioner, because if you do too much of it, it's going to weigh it down. Now, if you're doing hair oil, you're going to take 1 to 2 pumps of that oil and you're going to rub it. You're going to go 1, 2. You're going to rub it around in your hands, and then you're going to apply it from your mids to your ends. You're not ever going to come up here to your scalp. It's going to weigh your hair down. So you're going to take your product, rub it in your hands, start here, and you're going to kind of just press it into the hair. Because if you are rubbing the hair, first of all, you should never be rubbing the hair, because what that does is roughens up the cuticle and it causes frizz. And the same thing goes for styling creams. You're going to just use a pea size to a dime size. You don't want to do anything thicker than that or bigger than that, because it's just going to be too heavy for the hair. Then you're going to apply it in the same manner that you did the oil. You're going to make sure you're rubbing the product in your hand really nicely. And actually what I like to do for creams, as silly as this may sound, I like to rub it in my hands all around as if I'm putting a light coat of lotion on. Don't rub it so much to the point where you rub it into your skin, but then you're going to gently come in with your hand like a claw and you're going to rub your fingers through your hair just like this. And what this does is the hair that falls on top of the fingers, in between the fingers, underneath, in the palm of your hand, every single strand is going to get coated. You just squeeze the styling cream in your hand and you're just like, okay, let me just hurry up and do this. You're going to focus too much product in one area and that's going to weigh it down. Now, to avoid your hair from drying out, you need to limit your hair washing days 2 to 3 times a week. Now, if you are working in the medical field, you're a first responder, those kinds of things where you're having to pull your hair back all the time, but you also feel like your hair is nasty because you've had a day at work, here is a really good solution that's not going to dry your hair out, but it's going to kind of kill off any germs that might be living in there that you're worried about. You don't want to take it home to your family, that kind of thing. Bumble and Bumble sells a hair tonic that has tea tree oil. Tea tree oil is antifungal, antimicrobial, antibacterial, all the anti things. I highly, highly recommend you getting that because that tonic is essentially just going to kind of lightly cleanse the hair in a sense. It's not going to do like a shampoo would do, obviously, but it's going to kill off any of the germs and the bad bacteria that might be living in your hair or that you feel like is living in your hair. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is how to get your styles to hold longer. So there's a few different things here. It's not just product related. If you have crunchy ends from whether they're overprocessed by chemicals or whether it's because you need to get a trim that you've been avoiding for the last 8 months, that's where it starts. Because it doesn't matter how much product you put in the hair. If you have crunchy ends or crunchy hair at all, it's not going to hold a style. It's too damaged. It's not going to hold anything. So first step is to get the lightest little dusting, lightest little trim, just enough to get those nasty ends off of there so that it can hold a style. The other thing is, just because you have fine hair and it doesn't hold a style doesn't mean it can't hold a style. What do I mean by that? Just because you have fine hair doesn't mean that you don't have a lot of hair. You can have fine hair and have a lot of it. Now, if you have fine hair and you have a lot of it, as crazy as it may sound, you can very carefully get some of that weight taken out. Not with thinning shears. Now, I know getting your hair cut or having some of the weight taken out when you have fine hair seems terrifying. I was a hairdresser for 20 years, okay? I've had clients who have had thin hair, not a lot of it. I've had clients who have had thin hair and a lot of it. And this is what I would do. I would take just a little bit of weight, more so out of the back. It's not even all the way around. It's more so out of the back of their hair so that their hair would hold a style. If they wanted to curl it, it would hold the curl. If they wanted to put it up in a ponytail, it wouldn't be so heavy that it was coming down. So yes, if you want your hair to hold a style, you have to eliminate the split ends and the crunchy ends. And you have to have some of that weight taken out if you have a ton of fine hair. If you have fine hair and you don't have a lot of it, don't worry about taking the weight out. Just get rid of the dead ends. Next, let's talk about how to keep it healthy. So say you've gotten your trim. It never hurts to do a hair mask on your hair once a week. Start with that. The other thing is, if you do not have a shower filter on your shower head, that's where I would start before anything else. If you have water that is putting a lot of mineral buildup on your hair, that's going to weigh your hair down. It's going to cause dry hair and dull hair and possibly even split ends because it's going to be drying it out and it's going to make it brittle. Well, let's talk about what tools you should be using. Let's start with the hair dryer. The Dyson is my absolute number one favorite hair dryer of all time. The Dyson is an investment. It is not cheap. Just love it. I love how quickly it works and how quiet it is. And it makes the hair feel silky smooth. It doesn't make the hair feel frizzy. I have used a cheap one and it's still not cheap, but I have used one from Sally's and it was straight up garbage. I'm not gonna lie. I was just too cheap to buy a hair dryer and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna continue using this one. And I think it was like the Ion one or something. I can't remember. It was a while back. So maybe they have, upgraded their technology and they're better now. I don't know. But I just know that every time I used it, it was trash. My hair always looked frizzy and it took forever to blow dry. Rusk is a second really good one. That's a good alternative. And then the Babyliss Pro, it's okay. I mean, it's all right. It gets the job done. But I will say, when it comes to your styling tools, whether it be a curling iron or a hair straightener, a curling wand, a hair dryer, that is where I would make a good investment. That is where I would invest my money. Now, I know that there are other ones. I think L'Oreal Pro or L'Oreal something has a really good one that's supposed to be like a dupe to the Dyson at a fraction of the cost. I honestly don't know much about it. I think it's supposed to be good, but I don't know. Read the reviews and see what people say. Now, when it comes to the heat tools, like your curling irons, the wands and all that, I've used the Bio-Ionic, couldn't stand it. Could not stand it. I hated that thing so much. First of all, for me personally, everything is, is personal preference at this point. For me, the barrel is way too long. It didn't hold the curl well. It didn't get hot enough. And I honestly felt like the hair was just all over the place. And I was like, what the heck is this? I love my Babyliss Pro curling iron. I have used Hot Tools. That one is my second best one. I do have it and I like it, but I still like my Babyliss Pro way better. It gets hot enough and it curls so quickly. Not only that, the curls last. I swear by this and I will die on this hill. If you do not have the right styling tools for your hair is probably not going to hold a curl. What you invest in matters when it comes to the hair tools. Something else that I wanted to share with you when it comes to, the hair care routine. You don't need 15 different products on your hair. You don't need a system. You don't need all this BS, because honestly, a lot of it's just marketing, and a lot of these people get paid off of what they're trying to promote to you, what they're marketing to you. I don't get a dime for anything that I'm telling you to do today. And so I'm just sharing my honest opinion and what I know works for my clients. And this is what I want to share with you. So you need a shampoo, a conditioner, and a leave-in treatment. Those are the only 3 products that you truly need for your hair. You don't have to have a mask. You don't have to have an oil. You don't have to have a bond builder. You don't have to have a this and a that. And it's too much. It gets costly and people don't have time to do a 15-step hair care routine 3 times a week. We just don't, especially moms or people, nurses or doctors who work 12 to 24, 48-hour shifts. You just don't have time for all that. So I'm just keeping it simple for you. I want you to start by using a quality shampoo, a good quality conditioner, and a good quality leave-in conditioner. Now, let's talk about what those are. I've got my notes here, so don't mind me if I'm looking down at here because I'm looking at my notes. But the best shampoo and conditioners are going to be those that are sulfate-free and those that are advertised as volumizing or thickening, because they're going to gently cleanse the hair without weighing it down. Some key ingredients to look for are going to be rice amino acids. This is going to temporarily expand the hair shaft for a thicker appearance. Yay. And then you have the hydrolyzed silk or hydrolyzed keratin, which is going to strengthen and moisturize the hair without weighing it down. And then we have biotin. That is going to support hair health and can help with appearance of thickness, which again. And then panthenol pro vitamin B. This is going to provide hydration to the hair and scalp. Now, the things that we want to avoid are going to be anything that's heavily formulated. So you're going to avoid products labeled hydrating, which is like, dang, well, I want to have hydrated ends, but we will get to that. I will tell you what to use. You're going to avoid the products labeled hydrating because they're not specifically formulated for fine hair, and they can weigh the hair down. You want to opt for something that's going to be sulfate free, because that is going to cleanse the hair without stripping the natural oils from it, thus keeping the natural moisture in your hair. So you don't have to worry about buying a hydrating conditioner. Some popular ones that are on the higher end luxury line is going to be like the Living Proof shampoo. It is a silicone free shampoo and sulfate free shampoo. It's going to gently cleanse the hair and add body. Then you have the Kevin Murphy plumping rinse conditioner. This is going to give your hair a fuller and thicker look because of the ingredients like ginger root and nettle extracts. We have Way Fine Hair shampoo. This is a lightweight option that provides immediate volume without weighing the hair down. Now onto the budget-friendly shampoos. We have the Monday Hair Care Volume Shampoo. This speaks for itself. It is a volumizing shampoo. Okay, and then we have the L'Oreal Paris Thickening Shampoo. I think this is on Amazon for around $10 to $11, but what we love about it is that it's sulfate-free, which is what you're supposed to be looking for. It instantly improves the fullness and it's got a pleasant neutral scent. And this is classified as a thickening shampoo. This has key ingredients like rosemary and arginine, which are going to help promote hair growth. So yay for that. Now we did talk about the shampoos, the luxurious lines and the dupes. What you can do is use the same conditioner that goes with that shampoo, or you can switch it up altogether and do a completely different conditioner. You can do a volumizing shampoo and a thickening conditioner. It doesn't have to necessarily be the same exact line. Okay, when it comes to the leave-in conditioners, the higher end leave-in conditioners, I've actually done a video on my top 5 favorite leave-in conditioners. If you haven't checked that out, be sure to check that out. I'll link it up here somewhere. And I'll also link it in the description box below. My favorite one is the IGK Good Behavior. And then we have the Moroccan Oil All-in-One Leave-In Conditioner. And then the Pureology Fanatic Leave-In Spray. All of those can be used on fine hair, and I have used them on my clients with fine hair, and they did not have any issues with it. All right, so a great dupe for the Pureology Leave-In Conditioner is the L'Oreal Everpure Sulfate-Free Moisture 21 in 1 spray. This supposedly does 21 things in one spray. Okay, this next one is supposed to be an excellent dupe for the Moroccan Oil All-in-One Leave-In Conditioner. However, it is an oil itself. It's not actually a leave-in conditioner, but I would still try it. It is the OGX Renewing and Argan Oil of Morocco Penetrating Oil. It states that it's good for all hair types because it has argan oil. Argan oil is a lighter weight oil, which is excellent for fine hair. Those are just a few of the dupes. I'm actually going to be doing a full video on the top 5 favorite leave-in conditioners, the dupes to those, because I got a lot of requests to do those. So that is going to be coming out soon. Now let's talk about the hairstyling tools, which we kind of touched on that briefly. When it comes to the styling tools, this is where I would make an investment. I would not go for the cheap stuff just to save $10 or to save $50. I know that sounds crazy. Yes, $50 can go a long ways. No, it can't. But you get what I'm saying. If it's between hair product and hairstyling tools, I would definitely invest in the hairstyling tools. I will link everything that I've talked about in this video down in the description box below, the ones that I would opt for, and hopefully this video has been helpful for you watching. If you have some videos that you would be interested in seeing, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. If you have stayed this far, thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you next time. Bye.